Lois, we can't hear you.
Yep, there you go. Now we can hear you. You were muted.
Now you can hear. So we're live, guys. If somebody could say hello in the chat, that would be great right now. Nettie, hi Nettie. Hi Sarah Louise.
Yes.
So
I'm taping everybody on my EVP because it's going to get some
I'm away to get my cat ball because I think my cat ball's just so fucking awesome, and I think everybody in the paranormal should have one. Yeah. So guys, so the night.
Don't mention cat balls. Our cat Addy's taken off and he's only just there. You might help.
Oh. So tonight, guys, we're celebrating two things, right? So first thing is happy birthday to Irene. If my throat wasn't so sore, I would sing the place down, even though I can't sing worth a shit. And then the second bit of news tonight as well, I'll let Nick tell you because it's his news.
So some of you guys know this already, but of course, those who don't, I'm willing to make the announcement again. So you guys have known, obviously, for almost 2 years I've been part of the Things Network, since really the beginning, since we first started. And, of course, obviously, I'm on several different networks, but it's here with things I'd like to bring up. So it wasn't until about really around that same time I received an offer from Jeremy of wanting to be part of the actual Things group itself because at that time I was running a different paranormal group that sadly, I had to shut down because of lack of interest. So I took the offer, and then within about a year or so, the Things group decided to add an expansion on, which was to another state, the first one outside of the state of Indiana, which was Things of Colorado, which is now led by Adrian Clayton, who and that chapter is still going strong. For the longest time, it was only just Indiana and Colorado that had just an actual Things group. But today, of course, that's now officially. I was talking to Jeremy on the phone at one point, and he had offered me if I wanted to run a chapter of my own for my own states. And this of course took me a little bit by surprise because I was not expecting this. And at first I was a little bit hesitant because, again, after the failure of my last group, I thought, well, how is this going to be able to go, after what happened previously? But after giving it some thought, I decided to take the offer and give it a shot. And it is from this day forward, we now officially have a second chapter of Things outside of Indiana. As you can see in the background, Things of Illinois. So I'm officially running it. So we did it, guys. 3 states now.
Yay!
So we made it.
Congratulations. Eric says, I make you my version of cat balls. No problem. Hey, Mark. Hey, Robert. Oh, fuck. Here's this pain in the arse coming. Here's Baldy.
What's up?
Hiya, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Stop saying hiya to my Nick. Hiya, Rita. Brian, pleasure to see you both. You're not stealing name and all. Fuck off, Baldy.
Yeah, he's all right.
Good evening, Lewis, my lovely. You're after something. And then it says, well done, Nick.
Thank you.
Eric says, loving the new names. And Jacqueline saying it's awesome. So that must be a big thing for you. I think that's pretty good. And that obviously Jeremy's franchising out just in his state, so out to the other states. That's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, it really is. And it's amazing when I've actually learned how long the group has been around, because I didn't even realize until really recently that Things has actually been around since 2009. And I'm thinking, and I always thought to myself, how the hell did I not even just saw your Jeremy, Lois, that picture. But no, I often wonder, how on earth did I not know about this group years prior? So it was only really in the last 3 years I found out what Things was, because that was when they used to be part of the other network. And the fact that now he has decided to expand, it's just phenomenal. And he's not only wanting, and of course, it should definitely be noted that he's not only wanting to basically have eventually more chapters for the rest of the United States. He wants to eventually he wants chapters created in other countries. So we're not.
Well, you never know. We may be able to accommodate
here's Terry too, Willie. Scott says, I seek nothing except wisdom, married. Oh, you don't have the looks. Don't you away, don't talk
Well, and the other thing, too, is that he is looking for more chapters to eventually grow. However, Jeremy, and I can understand where he's coming from. He wants to, be really careful, very patient, who he could trust, who could actually run a chapter. Whether it's whether it's a state or a province or a territory or a country, he wants to make sure that he has the right people on board. Gentle. What's that?
I know you just let me down, gentle.
Nick, just say, Bri, you're no fucking in, right?
No.
He's right here. There you go.
Oh, hey, Jeremy.
He doesn't just do it willy-nilly.
That's the best way to build it from up. So what rabbit hole are we going down tonight, folks? I'll let you pick.
Well, me and Brian decided we'd let people ask us questions, and then somebody opened the exhibit box and the demon came back out again. But,
right, well, I'll tell you what, that's actually quite a good idea. We've never ever actually done this. So everybody in the chat that wants to throw us questions tonight, oh God, no, I shouldn't have said that because I can imagine Baldy right now, like 100 miles per hour. Right, but everybody in the chat, right, that wants to fire us a question. Oh God, here we go. Fires questions. We're more than happy. Sure Ian, that's a mistake. You're fucking right.
Yeah. I'm not scared. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not.
This is a no holds barred show. Who cares? We'll be off the air by next week. Hiya, Jacqueline.
I was gonna say, wasn't Jacqueline?
Aye, that's Jacqueline. Okay. Aye, that's Jacqueline. Oh, Lois, that's opened a can of worms. You don't need to tell me, Nettie.
Yeah, that was Lois's dinner earlier, so that's all right.
Yeah, right. So I'll tell you what. While we're waiting for our first question, all right, I've got to take off. I have to get started.
Yeah, 2 seconds. You guys know about this, right? I guess you guys have already seen it in the chat, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
I have you ever shot yourself in an investigation, right, boys? I'll let you answer first.
What is that?
We didn't say any questions.
I have never checked myself, but I have actually been in a situation where I thought, am I going to get home tonight?
Yeah.
And that was where we had a bit of a walk-in. Somebody had, or a spirit had decided it was going to wear this woman for the day. And we had to go and deal with it. So it was a bit touching cloth moments, and especially when she was walking around the kitchen with a knife in her hand. So, that's been the closest I've come into shatting myself, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, it's a place called Swansea Lodge again, the dreaded place. Well, not dread. I love the place. But they were quite a biggest team I've ever taken around. There were about 15 on us. And we kept circling this building. And I told everybody, do not taunt. Because the entities that resided there were very, very strong. So anyway, we've been around it 2 or 3 times. And one of these have-a-go heroes decided they were going to chuck an empty lighter up at this top of this building. And it bounced off. Now, you could see it spark, but that's the flint. But the lighter were empty. But from that, there was a blue flame. Stood still at top of the building. And it grew to roughly, size of my hand. And then it turned yellow. and started coming towards us. Now, this is floating free in air. So we all legged it, obviously. 1,500 legged it down this drive. But by the time we got to the bottom, I said, right, that's it now. Look, we've got away from building. Is everybody okay? Blah, 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 sorting everything out. And this kid that had thrown the lighter, he said, someone tipped him back. There was a scorch mark on his back, and he says it felt like his ankles had been slashed. Now, that's the weirdest and profound thing that's ever happened. And that got me. That did get me. I wouldn't say I was scared, but I was very apprehensive. Because I don't know what it was. From that day to this, I do not know what it was.
I think for me, we were on an investigation, me, Scott and Robbie, to Lennox Castle. And I never ever, when I'm doing lives on Facebook, ever dropped the F-bomb until this night. And we were investigating this part of the castle. And we heard, like, what you could hear was a scream, and it sounded far away. And I thought, right, just put that down to animal, right? Then the second scream came, but it was a lot closer than what the first one was. And I actually said on the live, what the fuck? I said, I'm not liking this. Then we heard a third scream, and that was even more closer. It was actually just yards away from us. And I think that's the only ever time out in all investigations that I've actually ever been scared. Because how far the distance the screams were. It was like, it was far away, then it was closer. And as I said, it was just like a few feet by us. And I think, oh my fucking God. Bri wasn't scared, but he discovered he was a good runner.
He broke the minute mark.
Chantel.
Hey, Chantel. What about yourself, Nick?
Oh man, what? See, I've gone on so many, but I really don't know if I've ever had like I just can't. Well, honestly, the only thing that really ever comes close to it, and this was actually more of an accident more than anything else. Like, it actually could have been very dangerous when this happened. But we were investigating. I think it was the Rossville Opera House. I think not the one that I was at recently. That was the Woodstock Opera House. This was downstate, and it was when I used to be with a different team years ago. This was actually about 10 years ago, in fact. And we were going through one of these hallways in the building, and for some reason whatsoever, on part of the floor that we were walking on, it felt a lot lighter on it, like as if it was ready to, as if it was ready to like fall through, like, cave in or whatever. And we didn't realize at first there was actually a trap door that was right where we were standing. And it wasn't me that was actually the one who was in danger, but I just remember they opened the trap door, and it was like this bottomless pit, basically. I mean, it looked like it had to have been several feet downwards. So I realized then that had we stood on that just a little bit longer, that trap door, as old as it was, it would have gave way, and one of us would have fallen in, seriously injured ourselves, possibly would have even gotten killed. So it's always one of the things you got to be really careful about when you're going, especially to abandoned locations or buildings that, even if you get permission through, buildings that are really no longer used for the most part. So there's a lot of danger sometimes.
Our next question comes from Sarah Louise. Would you buy a property if you knew it was the scene of a murder?
No.
Oh, I live in Hastings. I think the whole place is a murder scene from 1066, but there you go.
Buy one.
I don't think that would put me off, but I'd certainly want to do a few things to make sure nothing bad happens.
Exactly.
I must admit,
not if it were a murder scene. No, people die, obviously, and that's not a problem. But it can be if it's a murder thing. So no, I wouldn't consciously buy somewhere that was the scene of a murder.
Personally, I would be curious. just for the paranormal side of things. I'd definitely be curious. But look at how many people that buy houses and find bodies, they find money, they find hidden passages. In fact, one that stands out in my mind is somebody that bought farmland. I don't know if it was America or where, and had built obviously a house on top of the farm and that, and discovered that their neighbour was carting a drug cartel underneath their land. He had actually tunnelled, like a total tunnel for their house to his house, but underneath that's where the drug cartel was taking place. So you never know what you're getting when you're buying a house, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally.
That's the point, isn't it? The question was, would you if you knew? Would you intentionally if you knew it were a murder thing? When you discover it, it's a different thing.
Yes.
Check the house out.
Yeah,
I'd like to investigate, but I wouldn't.
You'd probably take the end of the day. Terry Two Willie says, same as housing estate built in battle sites. Exactly. It's the same as it says a lot of sibling homes had slave tunnels too. I didn't know that. What about you, Nicky?
See, it's, I don't know if I would. I'm not, even if I did, I would not be purchasing it because, like, how there's some people who think it's actually cool to, buy a house where a murder occurred. It's really not.
Yeah, they're all weirdos.
Yeah, I know. They I don't know what they think that way, but it's just not right. And it's just
hey, Mr. Seaton.
Hey, Wayne. If this was like I would have one exception. Like if it was like a murder that occurred like several centuries ago, maybe I'm not going to say a definite yes, but maybe. But if it was like a recent murder, like within the last 100 years, I would not want to get it either.
I mean,
don't you tell me what to call my boy or not to call my boy. Just you stay and mind your own fucking business.
I mean, in this country, a lot of notorious houses get knocked down anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, look at Fred and Rose West's house. I think that's flattened to the ground.
Completely, yeah.
The thing is, these places have got such an atmosphere. Why would you want to put yourself in to being literally dominated by spirit? It's everybody that buys these places, they want to get out of them as soon as they bought them. They're haunted by them. So why would you want to put yourself in that sort of austerity? Really, isn't it? It's horrible. No, I wouldn't.
Oh. Here's a question for Nick. Now, Nick, bear in mind.
See, this is exactly what I feared was going to happen because you said because you got to regret it. You got to regret about asking questions. Look what you did. Look what you did now.
Right. So, necklace.
Yeah. I bet Scott doesn't lock you in a basement, mate, does he?
Don't you tell him to baldy. Anyway, Scott, Nick said I was a better host than you were a wanker.
Oh God.
Anthony says, do you think spirit is free from the building if the building is knocked down?
No, definitely not.
The area, aren't they?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely. Never. Oh.
No, I don't.
And it says, right, this is for you guys, right? Do you ever get women chatting you up in investigations? We know Nick regularly disappears into the trees, but what about Brian Ian?
Disappears into the trees.
The only one that chats me up on investigations is generally my wife if she's with me.
it has happened. That's all I'm saying. It has happened, but I try to discourage it. Maybe me, such a lovely gentleman, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm too interested. I'm there for a ghost hunt, so I'm generally I don't pay attention to flirting anyway. So
that's all right. I know some investigators like sending dick pics to everybody.
yeah, Nick, pack it in.
Yeah.
I know, Nick sent me one, but what can I say? I recovered my eyes. I went, Nick, this is not the time or the place.
Yeah, like you covered your eyes when me and Wayne had got a stops off.
But to be fair, right? Me and Nick were confused to being a couple, so that is legally okay.
Scott can actually speak out for that too.
Yeah, me and Nick. I was explaining to somebody about North Carolina, and I don't think they were clicking onto what I was meaning. They thought I'd generally been to North Carolina with Nick, and they turned around and they said, "What did you do in North Carolina?" And so I played along, right, thinking they were carrying on. So I turned around and I said, "Oh, what happens in North Carolina stays in North Carolina," and I winked at Nick.
I was just laughing so hard, like I was like, I can't believe you just asked that question.
And then that wasn't the best bit. The best bit was, "Did you have a good time?" And I stopped to think about it, and I went, "Wait a minute, I'm getting confused here with a couple with Nick." And then I was trying to get Nick to help me out, but Nick was like that, "Not Lois, carry on." And I was like, "That asshole."
Yeah, that Lewis confuses everybody, especially.
Lois, you've got this secret portal to the woods, then, have you?
Yeah.
I have. It's in my back room, but don't tell everybody. Have you? Sorry, Terry said, "Have you or would you go on a ghost event and not let on you've been in this field for a long time and just act as a novice?" Oh, aye, hell yeah, that's something I would do.
Well, I came on this show and Lois thought I was a novice.
Me too, and I've been at it longer than anybody.
I didn't say that you were novices.
You were shocked I had a website. I said, "How do you think? Do you think I've been doing all these years?"
Okay, you're never going to let me live that down. That's got to be like somewhere in a speech.
No.
I've got you as a pin up on my wall, Lord. I can believe that, Terry. It's legally okay.
But I use it for axe throwing.
Hey, Jamie. Wayne's a novice. He says, "Hiya, Nicola. How you doing?" But yeah, but in my defence, right? In my defence, I don't even know what defence I've got, but I've got a defence.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yeah. Where did you tell from now?
I'll just plead the fifth. Plead the First Amendment.
You've got to be in America for that.
Oh,
I love voice. I love voice.
I pretend I don't know what I'm doing. That's just me.
No, it seriously doesn't.
Oh, see what? What's this? What's this he put now? Nick, what's the one thing always carries in her back on investigations, lol? Hi, cheeky. This is because, right, I don't know if you guys do it, right, but he slags me for having a toilet roll with me.
We're having a what?
A toilet roll. I take toilet roll with me.
So do I.
Yeah, most people do, but women usually it's spare pair of knickers.
I don't take any spare pair of knickers, to be fair. Just for toilet roll.
No, I'll be kind. I'll not comment on that one.
Yeah, me and Pride take mankinis, but there you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
New Year's were up to something.
We Spice Girls supporters.
Why is
Why-
there? What's going on here?
Wayne, I told you that in confidence. Lois goes commando. Shh! Stop telling everybody.
That's scary in itself.
Oh, I will beat through that screen and slap the bitch at you.
That's better.
There's no bitching me.
Okay, there we go.
Cheeky bitch. But no. See what happens in this programme. I never win. The boys always win. Eric says the vampire alien cows are messing with Nick's internet again. What is happening with your internet tonight? You're as more laggy than what I usually am.
It's making him move over.
I'm not sure what the hell's going on right now with it. It was just working fine.
Yeah, and then we had
By the way, Nick, what have I told you about wiring it up to next doors? You've got to stop that.
Yeah, he's running his power off the lamppost outside.
yeah.
I think he's away. He's gone.
Enough of you.
That's it. The 3 years now. Now there was 3.
He's a wilder new.
So, has anybody else got, he has his computer is possessed? That'll be the next thing.
Hang on. Did we miss any questions? Or let's have a look.
No.
Hey, back
If anybody's got any questions, please feel free to ask whatever ones you want.
Yeah, anyway, the last question was Terry, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
About
Yes,
I think that'd be quite funny, wouldn't it, if we did that? But unfortunately, in this area, I'm too well known. The events teams, as soon as I walk in the building with my team, they all want to. The events teams all want that to be in my gang, you know.
Nicola, I'm kidding on. I don't go commando. I just give them it back when they accuse me of going commando. I just say aye, just to appease them. Now I've got Lois goes, Eric, behave yourself or I'll get Rita to slap you in the head. Oh God, no, Nicola. Thank Jesus. That's just, I just pat it out at them. Let them think.
Lois wears adult nappies on investigations just in case.
There's you that wears tampons, you fanny. Hiya, Kate. How you doing?
No wrong with them tampons. They're brilliant. If somebody busts your nose.
Yeah.
I always thought going commando was dressed in camouflage gear. I dive in and out. Oh, is that what you meant, Wayne? Goes whistle. Copy me.
That's the guy called Mr. Airborne. Geezer, actually, he's pretty good. He's more of an urbex than a ghost hunter, but I like watching his videos. Gets in some right places.
Definitely, Nicola, I would love that. Definitely. But right, here's the thing, right? We were talking about this the other night. I'll give you a laugh, right? So I'm sitting on the other night on Tuesday's show, and I'm not quite understanding the subject, right? So I thought we were talking about basically what we would wear if we died, sort of thing, right? And it turned out, no, that's not what the subject was. So while I was having a conversation one way, and when I was having a conversation another way, they were actually talking about what would you wear out in an investigation. Well, I thought they meant if you died, what would you want to be wearing? So while I was talking about that, right, here's a question: what do you guys wear out in an investigation?
Whatever's appropriate, to be honest.
Yes.
Well, the usual trousers, hoodie. I like to wear. If we're filming in full spectrum, I like to wear the dark gear because it shows up pink and anything passes across us. It will actually show up in full spectrum because we actually look like we're wearing pink even when we're in black. But that's generally what I wear. But
Wayne always wears black regardless.
Yeah. Somebody asked me once
Both, Terry.
What would be the funniest thing to die in? And I said, your paranormal outfit. Because if people were investigating, they came across a ghost wearing a paranormal team outfit. How weird would that be?
Hey, Kate's in the house. Great seeing Kate. Thank you so much.
Kate. Oh, thank you very much, Nicola. I would love that, definitely. I've not been to Fife in God knows how long. Eric says, why do you think fuck you? Why do you think I want to live in Scotland so I can wear a kilt and go commando everywhere? I think you get done for indecent exposure, Eric. Hey, Joanne. Nicola says jeans, boots, hoodie, and a Florence underwear. Of course, you need them, Nicola, so everybody knows where you are.
You wouldn't need these fluorescent underwear in the clubs in the 80s, trust me. I remember when they first introduced ultraviolet light in the clubs in the 80s, and all the girls were walking about not realising we could see all their underwear.
like the X-ray glasses or the X-ray goggles or something.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, we used to use black lights in ultraviolet to see who got false teeth.
Anthony says, do you ever be ghost TV show naked ghost hunting?
Could you imagine?
Nick
oh my God!
Part of a show like that. Nick's never doing
that. I don't even know how they can get away with doing a show called Naked Attraction. I've never seen it. Honestly,
if you think about it, there is that show that's a Discovery Channel called Naked and Afraid.
Oh my God!
Naked and Afraid. Ghosts, maybe.
That's the weird thing about that, right? It's Naked and Afraid, but yet they've got strategically placed accoutrements or whatever you want to call it. Whereas on Naked Attraction, they literally stood there.
Hey, Irene. I gave you your birthday wish at the beginning, my love, but since you're here, I'll do it again. Happy birthday, Irene. I can't sing because my throat is killing me. But no, I don't even know how that's allowed to air. I didn't even know it was a real thing. It was my friend that told me about this, and I went, shut up. There's no way there's a TV programme called Naked Attraction and folk get naked on the show. Honestly, there is. And then I turned it on and my jaw dropped because I was like, what the hell? I wouldn't have the balls to do something like that.
That's actually Irene's son's birthday.
Oh, is it Irene's son's birthday? I thought it was Irene's birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday, Irene's son. Thank God I didn't sing. Wayne says, I've heard about Eric Thompson's kills don't go that far, you'll get into trouble. Eric says, no go in the dark fundies. Nicola remembers the club in the 80s. Terry says, indoor soft footwear, outdoor depends on ground, but dark clothing that doesn't rustle in a kilt, kit jacket even. Absolutely would go naked. Oh my God. Eric, you're some man.
Nope. I am.
I thought, oh my God, here comes the food up. Mine's is Sunday, the day we feed the dead relatives. But it's
birthday cake.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
But oh wow. No. But definitely. So is what else, guys? Come on. Nick, come on, you're good with this. Oh, in fact, Wayne's just had a question. What would be the worst thing to wear on your birthday? Me would be flip flops. See, the worst thing I've ever seen, and people say they're comfy as hell, is Croc.
Oh yes.
Croc? What's that?
Crocs are like, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a picture. And before everybody gets a dodgy idea, I'm sending them a pair of Crocs.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I've never heard of Crocs before. I mean, I've heard of like
Crocs or knickknacks.
I was going to say I've heard of like when see. This is going to sound crazy. I've heard of the term Crocs like for a short term of crocodile. I don't know that of what actually Crocs are.
I'll show you the Crocs. Do you know a lot of people that I work with wear Crocs, and actually, it's just
footwear.
Kate says Crocs and socks, high fashion right now.
Yeah, very sad. Do you remember, Nick, those people that used to wear sandals and socks?
How long ago was that?
Probably in the 70s.
That was before my time. I was not around for that.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that Ian is an old bastard?
No, I just say that I wasn't there to see that. I wish I was though.
No, he's just saying I'm wiser. Unlike yourself, Harry.
Excuse me, I am sending my good friend here some Crocs.
Carry on sending him your picture. Yeah.
And Crocs.
You've got your phone down low.
Do Croc trainers now?
Well. Yeah. See if you see Nick with a smile on his face, you know it's more than Crocs.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah, we'll be able to tell by the expression on his face.
We'll not be squinting.
If he looks scared, we know it's not Crocs you've sent him.
See if you see his face a bit like Dan's, then you can exactly what's happened. But to prove to you guys,
hello.
That's what Crocs are. Okay, I have seen.
Nick, stop starting because that's making it look bad. You went da 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 da.
Yeah.
Now everybody, Jesus, slow sure, bad. Oh, you've caught me in a good time. In Japan, it's too early, so Crocs are the best, like 40 degrees in the shade.
Yeah.
Crocs, swimming trunks, Nick.
Imagine
Terry's further up said the worst thing to wear on a ghost hunt would be high heels. Could you imagine?
Oh, in fact, do you know years ago I get told this off of somebody else that does investigating, but they get asked to take somebody out, which they said aye, and like,
Speedo.
So the next and
Croc socks.
You imagine strutting round. Where are you going to put your K2 and your K2 and your cat balls?
Oh, what's this? Brides are wearing them under their wedding dresses. You get special wedding Crocs.
Oh my God, it's nuts! Absolute nuts.
That's a real thing for weddings now.
But somebody showed up in an investigation, dolled out like they were going to a nightclub. I don't know what they were expecting, but they actually showed up, dolled up, makeup, and high heels. And it's like
I've had people turn up in high heels, but mainly when I used to do walk leading, and I used to take people for walks and that, and we arranged this meeting, and it were advertised on the internet and local rag, and I had this Chinese woman turn up just like that, dolled up. You know, I said, we're going through for a walk through the woods, love. You're not coming like that. What are you talking about? I come. I said, no, you're not. No, definitely not. So yeah, I've had people turn up like that, but not really for ghost investigations. Not like they were going to a nightclub, but in high heels, yeah. At least they had trousers on, but no.
Yeah, I've been on events. Where people have turned up, done up to the nines, and you think, do you realise what you're doing?
Exactly.
We're just about to go down in a dusty old cellar, and you look like you're going clubbing. Yeah.
Exactly.
She might have been hoping for a day. You know what? Actually, that does remind me. I'm not going to say who this is, but I actually saw a video a few years ago. It's actually an investigator who lives in the Chicago area. In fact, I actually just saw her a couple of days ago at the last Paracon. But a few years ago, she was part of this special investigation that was going on. It was supposed to be like comprised of all women, and she was one of them. And they did have it. You know, they had night vision cameras all over the place. But the funniest thing was, it looks like it, but in reality, it wasn't. It just looked like this on camera. But the way how the cameras were kind of pointed down to like from the ceiling or whatnot, or from the corners, it actually almost looked like that. All she was, oh wait, hey,
Hello.
this is quite a surprise.
Jazz hands.
But you know what? What's really funny about it is that from the camera angles, it looks like this person. It didn't look like she was wearing any shorts or anything. It almost looks like she was wearing just like her underwear, because she was wearing one of those long shirts. Basically, she actually was wearing shorts, but it looked like she wasn't wearing like anything below that.
So I thought I'd bring on Mr. Segan and let him join in our mayhem and carnage.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
The more the merrier.
Yes. Sorry, I'm doing
So-
Nick Rose then.
Oh yeah, I was. Well, at least you froze like that and know that.
Has anybody noticed?
It's all right, it's
my
the filter.
tattools have been noticed at all? Has anybody noticed?
Hello, lads. If you send him your pic, it might have a different expression.
Right, 2 minutes and I'll send Wayne the pick and all so that he doesn't feel left out, right?
What are the crocs?
Don't worry,
The sexy
I'll send you
crocs.
my crocs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
still trying to figure out how the hell did we end up getting into a conversation about Crocs.
It started off as the worst thing to wear on a ghost hunt, didn't it?
And
Crock of shit, really, isn't it?
sorry, we can't have no.
Oh, I'll go then, shall I? I don't even own any Crocs. I've never owned any Crocs.
I don't think we have any either.
Eric's giving you a compliment. Doesn't Wayne look like a lot like Uncle Fester?
It's all it's the black eyes.
Yeah.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello.
This is
I don't talk to you. Back down, you. So, Wayne, how are you, my love? How's things in Wayne's land?
Wayne's World. We'll be all right. Be all right once I go to sleep.
Scott looking in the background.
Yeah, he's always looking, that fucker.
It's been a long day, so I had to take my son down to a hospital in London today for a consultation for a hip, and it turns out that he's got rheumatoid arthritis and displacement in his spine.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Wayne.
Oh, man.
Because he's got rheumatoid arthritis, he lifts up his right leg, and as a result of that, his back has bent to compensate. So when he bent over for the doctor, his spine literally protruded right out of his back.
Oh my God.
And it looks like now he's going to have to wear literally a 2-inch heel on his trainers now to try and stop him from bending the right foot So by heightening the left foot, it's going to make him stretch the right leg,
Mm-hmm.
then should level out the spine. But then they've got the rheumatoid arthritis to deal with as well, which obviously if it damages his hip too much, 14-year-old having a hip replacement's not a life.
No.
No, definitely not. Nicholas says God bless him.
It was quite a shock for the doctor to hear that, to turn around and say that, you know, you can only have 2 or 3 hip replacements. So for a 14-year-old, you know, if you're fit and healthy otherwise and running around like a headless chicken, that hip replacement's only going to last 10 to 15 years.
Oh, man.
Whereas if you're a 60 to 70-year-old, you're not as agile and energetic. So a hip replacement would last 20 years.
Yeah.
But if you can only do them 2 or 3 times, by the time he's 50, he'd have exhausted the 3 hip replacements.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
So it was quite upsetting to hear him say about hip replacements, but he said, obviously, we don't want to go down that road yet. That's the last resort. What we can do is medications.
Right.
And I've read up about the medications that they could give him, on one of them, he might as well just have the strongest chemotherapy he could possibly have.
Oh, my love.
The side effects are liver damage, problems with the lungs, hair loss. You name it, it can come with this medication. And I just turned around to him and said, whatever you do, do not give him that.
Right.
Yeah, look,
right.
take a look down to holistic therapy road as well, when it does really work.
I mean, the other 3 medicines weren't too much of an issue, but what they said they do is they combine them and they chop and change them depending on what suits him. But I said, I don't care what you think suits him. He's not having this one because of the side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get you, especially a young 14-year-old.
Exactly. I don't think, I could picture it. I could picture it in my head. I'm just thinking he wouldn't be able to deal with, obviously having high functioning autism as well.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be a hard thing for him to get his head around.
Yeah.
No. He's got to take this medication for the rest of his life, and the side effects that could occur because of it.
No.
The good part of it was, after we left the hospital, his mum had driven down there with her friend as well, so she could listen in on what was going on. And as we were coming out of London, we overtook them. I put my foot down. I'm like, I want to get home as quick as possible. So I put my foot down and we overtook them. And as we were going past, I said to Ethan, I said, wave to your mum as we go past. So he looked at the side of the window, didn't he? And as we went past, he went. I'm like, thanks, Ethan. That's just cheered me up no end.
Listen, do you know his kids were all terrible for doing it? Because I used to be bad for it. Or bypassing everybody. I'd be like that. It's a young kid. It's a young kid thing. But then you watch Mr. Bean, and it makes you feel better. The one when he's in America, and he goes like that.
Yeah, I know.
He was waiting for you upstairs.
They've actually been showing episodes lately on the public access channel, so I don't know why, but they're starting to show them on television again.
Well, I've got Stephen subscribed to Paramount, and I'm like in heaven because I've got all the serial killer stuff. I've got the NCIS, all that stuff. I've got the Holy South Park. I'm like, I sat and watched a bit of South Park, like the new series again.
Yeah. Pokemon's still going strong.
Nicholas had just been.
Go on.
On you go, doll.
Yeah, she's just been through chemo.
Yeah.
Ask your son what he wants.
Ask your son what he wants.
Wayne, take a look at willow bark. It's natural aspirin.
Yeah.
It's white willow that you need. And that will cut down on a lot of medication because it's effective. But it's not as astringent as using the chemical, obviously, because it's got all the smoothing agents with it because it's natural.
Yeah.
Stephen says, I'm having tablet chemotherapy medication at the moment. I'm thinking, Stephen, and Wayne goes, Wayne's in the bloody hangway. Bria says, Wayne, money see, monkey do.
Thing is I would rather go down sort of like the holistic medicine route, but
Yeah.
here in Colchester, it's not as easy or readily as available, and it's things like, you know, we grew up as children being told don't smell dandelions because they make you wet the bed. Don't.
Oh my God!
Because it's poisonous, and yet it turns out
dandelions.
that dandelions are probably one of the best things in the world for you to have as a medicine.
Yeah.
Either the leaves, the roots.
Yeah.
Dandelions, hence the drink, dandelion and burdock.
Lovely.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do not know what burdock is. Does anybody know what burdock is?
It's another root plant, isn't it?
It's people will know it as sticky buds.
Yeah.
Because burdock, and that's what burdock is. It's sticky buds.
Irene says, just go to Chinatown and get herbal medicine because we use herbs. And Sarah Louise goes, it's a root vegetable.
Yeah.
In Chicago, we actually do have we have a Chinatown in Chicago, actually. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sell herbs over there.
But the funny part of that is with the dandelions is we were told you don't touch dandelions. Dandelions are a weed.
No, they're brilliant.
Myself and Mark Manley discovered that the main company that sells the weed killer Roundup just so happens to be one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world that deals with selling drugs that stop the problems that dandelions can get rid of.
Exactly. Well,
tell the truth, you and Mark pushed the bed with the dandelions, right?
I learned a lot of my trade in holistic therapies, in an holistic therapy shop. I learned massage therapy, Reiki, and practically everything else in this therapy shop. So I know a little bit about essential oils and natural remedies. So if you need an hand wheel, just give us a shout.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. And you find out when you get older that placing your mate's fingers in a cup of cold water while he's asleep makes you wet the bed.
No, we used to do that in the Royal Air Force with people we didn't like.
We call dandelions. Aye, Nicola, that's what we call it. That's definitely what we call it.
That's not dandelions. It's a member of the daisy family, actually, and it's one of Michaelmas daisies that's called picklebeds. It's nothing to do with dandelions.
Do you remember the one that they turn round, right, and they say, if you like butter, they could tell if you like butter or not? Yeah. I can always remember.
Yeah, that's buttercup,
yeah.
But marigold looks very, very similar, and that's got a lot of properties as well.
Stephen, I'm dyslexic, so I can't pronounce half of that one, so I'll just let people read it, because there's no way I'm pronouncing any of that. I'll slaughter that to fuck.
I'm on 1,000 milligrams of hydroxycarbamide and 75 milligrams of aspirin every day for the rest of my life because I have essential thrombocythemia. I ain't reading that one. AKA chronic blood cancer with a 5% chance increasing with age of progressing into a full-blown acute myeloid leukemia.
Right. Well, you can cut down on your aspirin, like I said, by using willow bark because that's your natural form, but it's white willow. Never forget that.
I've tried them. Acupuncture for my back. Buttercups, yep, definitely, Nicola. Do you know what? That's why I'm so glad when I was sitting there in awe of you there reading the big words because me trying to pronounce them, oh my God, there's no chance. I can't even say, I'll give you a laugh. There's a certain word that I can't say and every time I try and say it, and this is why I don't use it anytime, it's specific. I can't say it.
Yeah. When I did a bacteriology degree, we had to, part of our second year, we had to write down food spoilage bacterias and we had to spell them correctly. So we were all sitting there going like things like Clostridium perfringens. And everybody was like, what?
Even blood TB.
And the thing is, perfringens is spelled PFR.
Yeah.
And everybody was going PEF. And they were getting the answer wrong because they had spelt it incorrectly. So even just one word in the wrong place, one letter in the wrong place, and you were totally out of it. It's something like that, and you think, well, okay, get my head around it. I've been fortunate and been able to read them and spell them, but like you, Lois, and you see that word and you're just like, yeah, nah, I don't think so. I'm not going to try it.
And it's not just that. What you just said there in my head, have you ever watched the IT Crowd?
Yeah.
See when Jen's trying to learn the computers and Moss is going on and inside her head's like radio, like this. Well, that's what was happening in my brain there. That was just like total brain dead. It was like, and I'm like,
I mean, a lot of people, they're all right with words like salmonella.
Yeah.
But then when you go down the words of, like, say, Clostridium perfringens or Clostridium bacillus, they're all like, what's that?
Right, come on, Sheldon, you're showing me up now.
I had to teach my daughter about penicillin the other day. She had tonsillitis, and she was given penicillin.
Moldy bread.
I turned around to her, I said, "Do you know where that come from, don't you?" And she went, "What?" I said, "Rotten fruit and veg and bread and stuff."
Yeah.
Really? Well, penicillium is from the mold of rotten vegetables and food
and bread. They found by accident that these people that have been dropped in dungeons, like me and Ian,
that's off, you pair of apples.
They were feeding them moldy bread and they were actually thriving. A lot of the diseases and this, that, and other, these people that grabbed this bread and ate it were surviving better than everybody else. And hence the reason they realised that it got good healing properties.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's something to do with the outer casing of the spores on the bacteria. And it's that they used to make the penicillium.
Yeah.
So,
well, I wanted to ask you,
there you go, Lois, go fix some mould.
With it on the autism thing, does smells affect you more than a lot? Is certain smells beneficial to you and others not? Do some things really irritate you?
Yeah, with the problem is it's you've got with autism itself, it's such a big umbrella.
Yes,
there's so many different types, but you don't just get you get the autism that is triggered by sensory overload, or there's autism that's triggered by an under stimulation of the senses. But then you also get the non-communication side of autism. So you either got people that are, say, capable of communicating and others that aren't. Ethan's form of autism is both the mental health side and physical. His metabolic rate is running so fast that he eats twice as much as what I do and doesn't put any weight on.
Yeah, well, this is why I was asking. Yeah, it does affect a little bit like thyroid. That's why I asked, because sometimes essential oils, the smelly kind, can actually help, such as not lavender, believe it or not lavender, but its equivalent, which is bergamot and sandalwood mixed together, is absolutely fantastic for calming a situation. So,
lavender.
To be honest, I mean, Ethan is probably the pretty most laid-back person I've ever known. To be honest,
Stephen says,
out during the day, he just goes off upstairs and he just sits on his computer and that's him. You know, he's happy.
Happy. I just have to smell food and I gain weight. I'm the same. I used to be dead skinny. There was actually a picture of me that I've got on my phone and I'm a size 8. But when I went and got sterilised, somehow, like, I look at food and it's like, seriously, it's like one of their hands. It was like one of their hamsters. It was like, I was a wee skinny thing, and then the next thing you go,
I was pretty much like that tonight.
Is it like this?
Oh,
I stopped.
you've got it in one butter.
I stopped at McDonald's on the way back because nobody had had any food, including Ellen and the kids. So I promised Ethan he could have his double Big Mac, 9 nuggets, large fries, and a strawberry iced latte, frappe thing. And that
Oh my God.
would have stuffed me something chronic.
Yeah.
So I went and I brought a sweet chili chicken wrap and a small fries and a cappuccino. And that did me because I also got 20 nuggets thinking, I could eat them because I've had no lunch. Couldn't. I ended up giving them to Tamsin and Freddie. Normally I could have eaten all of that, but...
I didn't know that. See, I've never ever drunk any of the only tea that I really drink is Yorkshire tea. But I've never ever tried.
Yeah.
I know.
You might find less of that full fat iron brew might help as well.
You're behind me here.
What you got? Oh, some iron brew. But no, I found that I used to drink Tetley, and then I found a lot of time, because I've got acid reflux, I've got Barrett's esophagus, so I've got to watch really what I eat. And I found that I obviously I found that Tetley's used to make me feel violently sick after like drinking it. But then I went on to Yorkshire tea, and that's more lighter, funnily enough, on my stomach.
Talking Tetley's bitter for a minute.
Fuck you, English. Stephen says, sorry, I keep losing the live stream. Our internet's so bad. That's like Nick. Is Nick wiring you up to your house and our house, and I pay extra for fibre and extra again to increase the bandwidth, and it still keeps dropping out, so I'm missing a lot of what you're saying, including when you reply to my comments. Listen, Stephen, it's absolutely fine, honey. The lives are always here to watch and catch up. Don't worry about missing anything. You're only missing us talking shite.
So just watch it on catch up, Stephen. And then at the weekend, have yourself a lovely barbecue.
Have you not got anything for sweet and sour dip?
Positive shite.
Woo!
And just in case you fancy a bit of an Indian.
That's right.
And if you're into rich foods, look, we've got the rich tomato dip.
Stephen says he just seen that and gained a stone. I know he's been weight on his McDonald's. I've not had. I love the Big Mac. To be fair, you've put me in the mood for a McDonald's now. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I had one last night. Lovely.
Did somebody say just eat?
Oh, hey, Mark.
Oh, Mark's.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey.
I must be on an advert
Oh, you're all right
today.
Yeah. Are you sponsored by McDonald's?
Sponsored by
Wayne.
McD's.
I mean, Wayne, if you keep going, I'm going to blame you if I order it. I'm blaming you.
I'm just waiting for Ronald McDonald to pop up behind you.
Don't say that.
Mark's saying, hey, you guys, hey, you back.
Mayonnaise to go with it.
Nicola says, I'm piggybacking off neighbours, going to chat with Dawn, tell them to switch a few devices off. That's a typical Scottish thing.
Yeah, someone's bouncing off your Wi-Fi.
Terry's asking, is a Big Mac Scottish? Well,
no.
Yeah, I have.
Depends on how big you want it.
Well, that's true. You've got small, you've got medium, you've got large, extra large. But why do you want to go?
But they
What are
do,
you talking about now?
they
If it
do
was
say the likes of McDonald's have a secret menu where you could ask for extra patties at a certain price.
Yeah,
Ooh, check this out.
Burger
If it
King
was
were the first
Scottish,
people
they
to do it
wouldn't be
over
chopping
here, where you could add a
cucumber,
patty
would
for £1.
I'm holding you to that, Irene. I'm coming to Japan for that. Seriously. You've been and gone and done it now. I'm going to have a healthy stir fry salad with bean sprouts. Oh, I love bean sprouts. You cannot have a Chinese. Terry too, Lily's. I just seen your comment there, cheeky face. So yeah, I love bean sprouts. You can't have a Chinese and not have bean sprouts. I'm sorry, it's against the law.
Not
Is that a new thing the EU have just started, is it?
Cheeky.
Can't have Chinese without bean
Put
sprouts.
your bean sprouts
I
on.
love bean sprouts. I do.
like I
It
said,
depends. It depends on what they're with.
if McDonald's was Scottish, the cucumber wouldn't be sliced, would it?
Oh no.
Bean sprouts, noodles, and some black bean sauce. Lovely.
I prefer a sweet and sour Hong Kong style chicken with noodles. I love noodles.
Yeah, we're noodles. We're a noodle fest as well. We love noodles.
Right.
That's it, Ben. You've bought me. I'll come and move in with you and Ellen.
We buy noodles every month. We buy a box of 40 packets of noodles for £20 off of Amazon, and you can guarantee within a week they're all gone.
Right.
Oh,
No.
really? Wow.
I love putting garlic. Right, see, like normal, like is it bachelor's noodles? I love putting garlic in it. See when I make it, right? I do like
Big
put.
garlic.
I'll absolutely love putting in garlic. Nicola says here, Lois, what you think of the Scottish are really Irish? Watch the Blood of the Clans. It was brilliant. I've not actually seen it, Nicola. Okay, I'll throw in some egg noodles too. See, we're creating a dinner for Stephen here. I'll make you some dumplings and spring rolls too. See, when I see that comment, I think of Kung Fu Panda. That's something that will show up at your door. That'll be me, Kung Fu Panda. I can't even work.
Now you're talking.
I can't even work chopsticks. You should see me with chopsticks. It's so funny. Try to get my horns through, and what do you do with these things?
Well, it's all right with things like if Irene gives you dumplings because you can just stab them with the chopsticks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See when they're in my hand, right? See if I had a pair, right? But it's like when they're in my hand, I find it dead fidgety, so I'm like trying to get a grip of it. So I'd be that type of person that my dumplings would go flying right round the bowl and then fly right off.
I'd get too annoyed using chopsticks. I'd just grab the bowl and go. Nah.
Right, guys, I'm going to have to screw it off because I've got to go get the wife.
Thank you very much, handsome.
Guys.
See you next week, guys. See you later, babe. Bye. Bye. But absolutely. That's my sort of echo it. I can't even fucking say it. With chopsticks.
You do have an option though. You've got Chinese spoons, which are a spoon with fork that's on end.
Oh, I've never actually seen one in them.
No, they're actually flat at bottom because their etiquette's all different in it, and it's supposed to sit on the side of the spoon dish plate.
Sorry, Gary.
So it's flat at bottom, but it's like a spoon with fork bits at front.
A spork.
Yeah, spork.
Yeah, that's what they're called, a spork. You get them in chip shops as well.
Yeah.
So it's a spoon and a fork together so that you can obviously scoop it up and then or poke it, whatever you need. But they should do chopsticks with a fork on the end.
Stephen says, I'm going to fire up the slow cooker for dumpling and then pull chicken, vegetables, casseroles and dumplings. Best chopsticks are your fingers. I can totally agree, Nicola. I can use chopsticks. Eric says, Irene says, we've got training chopsticks for you, Lo, so thank you. I feel right.
They're the ones that are joined at the top. They're joined. I think they're joined at the top, aren't they? So that you don't end up making them fly all over the place.
See, to be honest, I would be happy with a kid's set or something. So I can just put it in my hand.
Just a knife and fork will do.
Yeah. Listen, you couldn't even take me to a posh restaurant with all the knives and forks. I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing, seriously. I would just eat with any. What one is it? Oh, this one? I'll just pick them up.
It's like when I've been trying to teach the kids how to use a fork and a spoon to eat spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times we've had spaghetti bolognese, and by the time the kids have finished theirs, they've decorated their entire front with sauce.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, what you do is you get the fork, poke it through all the spaghetti onto the spoon, and then twist it until it's all on the fork. And then bring it up to your mouth quickly over the plate, and it's job done. Next thing you know, they're twisting up when it's going all over the shop, and you're like, oh, what did we start?
Has MD kept a note of conversation topics we've covered tonight? Oh, there's been that many, Terry, that I've lost count. My head is spinning.
We never do. We go down that many rabbit holes.
we see more holes than Tiger Woods.
Problem is, you go down rabbit holes and you end up coming up badger sets.
Yeah.
Nick looks gobsmacked. I've just cracked a joke about Tiger Woods.
Here's a point for you, Wayne. It's a case of whatever you get.
Listen, I think after the week that everyone's had, we've needed this laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a strange week, isn't it? Everybody's been bickering this week. Something chronic.
Nick's blushing. Nick's always blushing when I talk.
No, it's actually the camera that's giving this reddish look for some reason.
Yes, of course. Yes, it is.
It's ever since you've seen my Crocs.
From my perspective, Nick, it looks like you're actually under a sun lamp.
You know what? I kind of do, because it's like affecting my arms too. I'm not sure what's going on with the web camera, to be honest with you.
Getting a nice suntan on live.
Like a sunburn.
Rita says, I love you guys, makes me laugh. So Monday, you've got the Dark Mirror boys, and I am joining them on Monday. They're like, oh fuck, she's coming. So what are we talking about on Monday, Wayne?
I don't think we're going to end up talking about anything, to be honest.
I have no idea but what that means, Irene, but I am not touching that one.
In fact, Nick, I'll translate for you. Have you ever seen Police Academy? Have you seen the first Police Academy? When the captain's doing the speech and the woman's hiding in the...
I have not seen any of those movies.
Roughly translated, nom and nom and nom.
So, wow.
I think it's going to be more like comedy hour on Monday.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. It will be good. What time is it? 9 or 9:30?
It fluctuates. It depends on how busy Mark is. It used to be 9:30, but I think we pushed it back to 9 again. So, but obviously we will put a post up on the Dark Mirror radio show, and obviously we'll let you know what time we're going to be going.
That's cool. Guys, if you haven't checked out the Dark Mirror boys, please check them out because they are great guys. Just don't tell Baldy that I said that, but right. But
He's watching,
Please.
I think.
Oh, is he watching? Oh, fuck, so he is.
He wasn't.
But definitely check them out, guys. They are they are really, really funny. And if they have a group, it's the Dark Mirror show into it. Please go and join it, guys, because they are worth it.
Yeah, you have shared the group out a bit, so more people are starting to join in and have fun. So we do start off with serious subjects. We tend to cover a lot of things in the UFO scene and alien sightings, things like that. But then, as always, like most things, we sort of end up going off, and we end up down a rabbit hole that's so big that there's no chance of coming out, and it might as well just be a zoo. Because
that's like Frightners. We start off with the best intentions, and my God, we're on some roundabouts.
I think that's what makes these sort of podcasts more fun and more interactive. You know, if you're too straight laced and you just pick on a subject and you just stand there and just talk about it, you've got technically what I would class as like the sleep factor. You'd end up sort of going, oh, like that.
There's no
a bit of humour into it, and you have a bit of fun along the way. It keeps people more interested.
Oh God, and that's what I always say about like Frightners. At the end of the day, if you don't say Terry Two Willies, get Nick some Crocs. I'll be sending him a pair of Crocs.
Just don't send him the ones with teeth.
That's it. but that's what podcasts have got to be about. You know, it's about having fun. It's about to show the people that we have got that sense of humour. And do you know what? From the Dark Mirror show and Frightners' point of view, people love it. People love coming on a Friday night because there's probably a lot of people that maybe don't have somebody, and we're the last people that they see at night. So to make it worth that while, to make it fun.
That's why I get
a lot of the times
on my page, because I'll interact.
And that's the thing. A lot of the times people will do a podcast and it will just be straight down the road. You know, a lot of people just record their podcast. When you've got a live podcast or a live broadcast, you can interact with the people, and that sort of brings it more in line with what people want. And on a Friday night, you've had a hard week, or some people have, not everybody, but some people have had a very hard week. They want to unwind. And instead of going out and getting completely drunk and forgetting about the problems of the week and then remembering them the following day, they can watch something like this, have a good old giggle with us, and remember what they've experienced that night.
Exactly.
I mean, it could be a talking point about the Crocs for days to come.
Definitely. What do you think? All think about Professor Stephen Gears. Is that the name's correct? CES contract protocol.
It's Dr. Stephen Greer is one of these whistleblowers. And he is trying to expose the UFO agenda and alien cover-ups. And it all stems back to the disclosure that was originally planned, but when it was released, it was only a short period of time, and a lot of the information was blacked out. So they'd hidden specifics.
I saw something the other day, because I've been a bit perturbed with alien scene for a while now. But I saw something that actually made me think, now then, is this actually, are they trying to contaminate and sort of debunk a lot of the legitimacy by posting a lot of these blatantly fake videos?
We know for a fact that since the Roswell, or since just before the Roswell incident in the 40s, that Project Blue Book was devised. And they were then automatically sent out to places where people had claimed they had seen a UFO or an alien, and they would try and change their way of thinking into making them believe they'd seen something else. something that was more earthbound. And they were quite heavily responsible for changing the way people thought about the Mothman imprint.
Yes.
Although Project Blue Book apparently stopped in 1967, a lot of people in the ufology field believe that it didn't stop. It was just renamed, and I think it's now called ATAP.
Yeah.
And they are still out there, and they're still going around to people and saying, you didn't see this, you saw that, that was all this was, we've done tests, blah, blah, blah. And now we've got social media, and there's a lot of different platforms to view stuff on. There's so many people using things like Facebook and TikTok to post stuff out there. I'm 100% certain that if it is ATAP or the governments of the world have got branches of people that specifically sit on social media platforms and deliberately post false videos to confuse the viewer and the public, that it's all garbage, because some of them are so blatantly obvious.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's like the video that surfaced about the lady on the aeroplane. She swore blind. She was sitting next to one of the reptilian shapeshifters, and there was so many reports that she was drunk or she was high, and yet she claimed she wasn't. She hadn't been drinking, but this guy had eyelids that went from side to side rather than up and down.
Yeah,
and it scared her, and she wanted off the plane. But pretty soon after that, a video was released, apparently by the guy who she accused of being an alien reptile shapeshifter, and everybody straight away knew it wasn't him.
Yeah,
and they went, "You're saying that on purpose." So could this be the hidden agenda side of things, where they're trying to push this other excuse or this other answer out there to confuse everybody? But I think we're going to be in for a surprise over the next few years.
Yeah,
Eric says the US government has a contract period for years. Nicola says, love ufology, government cover up, but all we have to do is look at ancient hieroglyphics and bronze. That is very true.
Yeah.
Terry says misinformation tax, definitely. Hello, Kelly.
Oh, hey, Kelly.
And Sarah Louise says there's out there, definitely, without a doubt.
I mean, the hieroglyphics point is a perfect example, because if you look at a lot of the hieroglyphics from Egypt, from Australia, the Aboriginal hieroglyphics that they've got on the cave paintings and the walls, you know, you've got a humanoid wearing a helmet, a bubble, big goldfish bowl over his head. Now, they're thousands of years old. They know that. They've carbon dated it all and looked at it and gone, these are thousands of years old. Before,
that's a picture of pyramid back to back with these ornaments on. So yeah,
before like modern man had even got to Australia.
Yeah.
They're saying, how have they got hieroglyphics that are almost identical to the Egyptians? That means the Egyptians have been there.
Right.
Well, look at pyramids all over the world. South American pyramids. Yeah, they're slightly different, but the pyramids, we weren't traveling continents when they were built. But they were built same time, South America and Egypt. So yeah, there's loads of things. I've got a theory myself, though, actually, that we are, in a way, part alien, because we've got added chromosomes.
There has been documented proof that our DNA has been altered.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been altered through evolution.
Exactly.
I believe that, yeah.
It's, you know,
guys,
I've sort of gone with what I call the Star Trek Genesis theory. I think it's is it the Wrath of Khan or no, Search for Spock? I don't know. In one of the Star Trek films, they have the Genesis project where they fired this missile into a dead planet and it brought it to life, but it didn't last long. And the theory I sort of look at, which is probably quite a possible theory, is that the dinosaurs were here first. This extraterrestrial race has slammed something to cause this the extermination event, kills all the dinosaurs off. They then plop the extra DNA and the extra chromosomes and all the other little bits and bobs onto the Earth, and then it evolved and left it to evolve. And the UFO
hello, James.
And the
hey,
UFO sightings that people see now are those beings coming back to see how their experiment has progressed.
Yeah, to some extent. My theory is slightly different to that. I believe that they knew that they couldn't, with their technology, they couldn't stop this meteor impact. But what they could do, which is translated into Bible and one or two other religions, the Ark, which for me wasn't terrestrial. These were spaceships, not just one, more than one. And we were taken off. Now, even their ships weren't big enough to take largest of the dinosaurs. They couldn't. But we were taken off Earth, and this is why the historical record disappeared. We evolved on this other planet, and then they brought us back when it was safe to do so, and we evolved from there. Naturally evolved from there, but we'd already been altered.
Yeah.
There is organs in his body that would suggest that it's possible, because his appendix had never been used, not on this planet anyway. What were it for? You know, were we given that to cope with the new environment? I don't know. There's loads of things. But that for me, and again, you get this Chinese whisper effect where it's written down then as time carried on. The Ark, where did that come from? You know what I mean? So
apparently a Chinese and Turkish team have found the Ark on top of Mount Ararat.
Yeah,
And there is a video circulating.
The Crafty states he got a message we are from the future. Oh
wow.
Yeah.
I must admit, right, I'm getting quite into the ufology. I'm getting quite into it. I never thought I would, but I'm starting to really watch stuff up on it. And what's fascinating me right now is the missing time. I'm quite fascinated by that. How people, and I've read many stories, and as I said, I think it was in last week's show, I've started watching the Unsolved Mysteries, and it was talking about this soldier, and he was going to be based at this place, and he had to make the phone call, obviously, to let the people know that he was there so he'd get picked up. So he phoned the people, and while he was phoning the people, in the sky he seen lights. So he obviously became scared. So he phoned the place back up, and apparently they said that they had sent someone for him, and he's like, "No, you haven't." He says, "I've been here all this time." He says, and no one's came. And he get grilled, as you do, right? Well, tell us why you weren't there. Where were you? And he was trying to say, look, there was lights, blah blah blah. And he bought a book because he was on holiday and he wanted something to read, and he bought a book by, is it Bob Hopkins? Bob, can't mind his name. But the guy in his way wrote about aliens and things like that. And when he was reading this guy's book, he's like, "Oh my God, this actually happened to me. This is what's happening with me." And he got in contact with this guy and discussed. And I think the whole subject on the missing time is a really, really fascinating subject. Definitely.
One of the theories behind that was that when they take somebody, their plan is supposed to be to take them back at the point that they took them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that isn't possible, so they bring them back, but what they do is they make them forget what they've experienced.
Yeah,
that's
like
where
the
the missing time thing comes from, is the fact that there is this time. And one of the best films to watch is Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
A totally amazing film, and that is about the true story of Travis Walton, where him and his friends were contracted to do some log clearing in the woods. And I think it was on their way back, they witnessed a strange light in the forest. And when they approached it, Travis got out of the truck and was taken away by a UFO.
Right.
And I think it was for something like 5 or 6 days. He completely disappeared. All his friends were blamed for his murder, even though there was no body. They'd sent search parties out to look for him, couldn't find nothing. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he turns up in a phone box.
Yep.
Yeah, because they were given a lie detector test, weren't they?
Everybody was given a lie detector test, apart from one. They all passed, and the one that didn't pass was inconclusive, and that was because he had issues with Travis Walton.
Right.
Yeah. Stephen's asking, what about the possibility that these extraterrestrial beings could actually be multi-dimensional beings travelling undimensionally?
Yeah,
well,
it's possible.
But another question I wanted to ask you as well is,
Could be. I think that's guys.
My theory on that as well, because it's not human really, and I believe that a lot of aliens decide to live amongst us as us, but there is differences, and the only way they can cover it up is if they spontaneously human combust. There's no evidence left. It's way out there, but to me it makes sense.
The problem is there is no evidence to support that theory, simply because no one has actually looked into people that have died from spontaneous human combustion are linked with an abduction.
No.
So,
do you know, I was watching NCIS and there was an episode, just will laugh, but I was sitting there and there was an episode where somebody had died and they had been setting fire. And I was like that automatically. I was like, that is spontaneous human combustion. Yeah. And it was McGee that said the exact same thing as me. We were both fucking wrong.
it is strange. It is a strange, something like spontaneous human combustion is very strange, but there's so many weird things that happen that people point the fingers to certain things. There's a case I'm sure it was near Halifax, and that's Nova Scotia, I think.
Yeah, that's. I think that's in Nova
Canada,
Nova Scotia, Canada,
yeah. Where 7 feet over a period of about 3 days washed up on the shore. Nobody knows whose feet they are. They've got no DNA from them, but the shoes were found with the feet still inside them.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to identify who the feet belong to. And the case is still open today.
Yeah, my point wasn't that they were abductees. My point was that they could possibly be aliens living amongst us. They wanted to live as humans. And it was a way to cover up their DNA choices. Yeah,
but the problem with that is the whole body hasn't completely gone. A lot of the cases, parts of the body have still been left, and there would have still been traces of DNA.
Well, yeah, but maybe possibly they've been able to copy a lot of us, but not everything.
Yeah.
Sarah Louise says, I think the missing plane Malaysia MH370 was taken by aliens. Eric says the term eclipse only means change. Sarah loves that film. Everyone thinks that the world is going to end. It's just your perception of how it's going to change. Kelly says they've been walking among us for years. Sarah Louise says Dallas was the guy's name. Nicholas says, what about the fella who said he was from Mars? Can't remember his name. He predicted things years ago that the astronomy has recently discovered.
Yeah, what first term for interaction with our planes? Foo Fighters, weren't it?
Yeah, back in the 40s during the Second World War.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is that was a terminology that was given But UFOs have been known for a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah,
because,
of course,
like we said earlier, if you look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics, Apache helicopters are appearing on the Inca ones. UFOs and strange spacecraft appearing on the Egyptian ones.
Yeah, pendants. These pendants, little gold pendants, that when they've replicated them, they actually fly.
Yeah.
Taylor says, look at Prince Charles and have a deep look. Oh. What's your thoughts, Dan?
He's King Charles.
Do you know what I'm fascinated with? I'm fascinated with the one in Russia, the Deliverable Pass. What's your thoughts on that one, guys?
The what, sorry?
I can't even pronounce it. It's basically, is it Deliverable Pass? It's the one where the hikers and they were found. We've done a show on it, Nick.
Yeah, we did. That was the hikers involved in that disappearance from 1959.
Aye, aye.
They found a door or something, didn't they? And yeah,
I think I'm fascinated with that one. I think that's quite an interesting one to how all the hikers, like how they came to die. And
the thing is, in these places that are secluded, not many people living in them. We don't know what is there, and we still haven't explored anywhere near as much of the earth as we think we have. And it's like when they found depleted uranium in Siberia, and worked out that it was thousands of years old.
I will kill you the next time I see him.
Depleted uranium is a human-made process, and it outdated humans. So how did depleted uranium get buried under the snow in Siberia, being hundreds of thousands of years old, older than mankind itself, when it's a mankind-made thing?
Well, exactly. I mean, a lot of our terminology and fables and one thing or another. I mean, the Horn of Jericho that was supposed to have, melted this cliff face. And it has. There's no explanation for it. There's no volcanic activity, but this wall, because it was a man-made wall or an alien-made wall, had been melted.
That is true, Kelly. Kelly, Nicola. Sorry, Nicola.
Unexplainable things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It really is an interesting subject, without a doubt.
There's definitely a lot of things that the powers that be know that we don't. And anybody that is interested, look up Admiral Byrd. Google Admiral Byrd and the Antarctic expedition, and read that. That will blow your mind.
Yeah.
In fact, you need to actually message me that, Wayne, because I've got a brain like myself.
The tale of Admiral Byrd and the expedition to the Antarctic is all about an entrance into the underworld.
Oh wow!
Admiral Byrd actually went into this entrance and was told to stay away.
Yeah, there's loads. There's is it Mojave Desert in America? There's loads of caves and that there, and you're not allowed in them. Why? I mean, who's telling you to keep out? Government.
Why? Oh God, see, when you trace everything, back, everything always comes back to the government. Definitely.
There's a network of caves. There's a network of caves in the Grand Canyon that the government won't let you go into.
Exactly.
They're hard to get to, but someone, I can't remember his name, Kincaid, is it?
Yeah, we've got some in this country.
He found a cave in the side wall of one of in the Grand Canyon, and he went in there and he took some artifacts out. And from then onwards, soon as he opened his mouth and said that he'd found this cave inside of the canyon, they shut it off and no one could get to it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Wayne, for coming on. It's a pleasure as always. You and Mark are very welcome to come on anytime. You know that, guys. I want to thank my other boys, even that English bastard that fucked off. I semi want to thank him, you know. But yeah, definitely on Monday, check out the Dark Mirror boys. They'll be on Monday. Tuesday, I can't even remember what the subject is. Fuck. But definitely catch us next week, guys. We may have a guest, we may not. I don't know what the situation is there. But if we don't, I'm sure the boys will come on. No doubt. I'll have to speak nicely to them. But definitely, guys, you have a good weekend, everyone.
All right,
and I'll see you.